a community club. DCFC is a community-built club. And it will always
team
be.
is pitching a plan to revitalize a historic gem in our community, and it's a project that's driven by their passion for their sport.
State of disrepair right now. Concrete sort of crumbling a little bit. The bleachers.
Football club. We're at Keywood Stadium. This stadium was built in 1936.
It's amazing to see just how far they have come. Years ago, they were playing over at Gas Tech, and now so many people.
St. Louis is there to clear it?
Yeah, in the background, they give us the 12th man, it's awesome.
It's fans to watch. We're happy to put on a show for all these guys that came out to see us play.
When we moved, they moved, and just communication is the biggest part.
Great. I think we could have earned a shutout earlier against Sparta in the year.
Awesome. The atmosphere is amazing. Monday with the right foot. It's in the back of the net.
People know us now. People know what to expect. Now we gotta take it to another level.
Look, city till I die. Say hi to the bad fella. Hella smooth with the flow, so grab your umbrella. Yeah, we make it rain, bring the pain. Things are changing. Power rankings take a spanking, got them rearranging. They said Denise are all stars till we deboed all y'all. Ball of fist and brawl y'all. Yeah, we pissed off all y'all, and we thin but still winning. Grinning at the top, got a pundit head spinning, make that chin pop. Blue collar clocking in. They been mocking us for days till they step into the key and they been leaving with a fade. Doubting us, but then they swayed. Say we pout, they throwing shade. You will never have what we have, time to get the blade. Cause we'll be cutting them up, yeah, we're shutting them up. We ain't bluffing, tell you something, better knuckle up. Y'all ain't nothing but chumps, we put in overtime. We'll be putting in work until it's closing time. City till I die, talking blood, sweat, and tears. City till I die, we've been building this for years.
What was Dennis' excuse for not showing up on time? What was it?
He is barbecuing ribs.
Barbecuing ribs.
That's my excuse. I used that last year. That season.
Huh. All right.
Using barbecue over the podcast. Okay. Duly noted.
The message he sent to me said that the fire match is running over a little bit.
Shit, the fire match is on. I forgot.
And Jaime has disappeared. And
Jaime's gone. He's not coming back.
He's not?
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too disappointed.
He started his own podcast with Garrett.
He's like, I'm tired of this shit over here.
Done with these guys.
And then Garrett, for our listeners and our watchers, we removed Garrett from the show.
Well, did you hear the news about Garrett?
Was it the potty accident that he had at the match, or something else?
Well, they talk about the potty accident you almost had at the match.
Yeah. We'll get to the.
Darn.
Wow.
Yeah. I like it's just a classic deflection on my part. I'm
just
trying
because we were playing Charter doesn't mean you have to.
Well, you get excited sometimes and things happen. I don't know.
Porta potties are really far away too, so.
Well.
Got to do what you got to do.
Well, welcome to the tunnel.
What do you want to know?
Up classy.
Oh yeah. What's the Garrett news?
Well, did you hear the news that Eintracht Frankfurt may be an affiliate of the new Milwaukee USL Championship side? So he is now a Milwaukee supporter.
Oh my!
Oh yeah,
and no longer felt that he could do a Detroit City FC podcast anymore. So that's what happened. Garrett is gone. He is starting some Milwaukee Cream City podcasts, and wish him all the best.
Yeah, I can't say that I wish him the best, but he's gone. We've been trying to find angles to get rid of him for some time, so.
I mean, I hope he doesn't think he's just going to stroll in Milwaukee and they're going to accept those boots and those hats. I mean.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to see.
Are there a lot of German Cowboys? or Pilgrim?
I don't know.
No.
Well, there's one now,
Yeah.
but I don't think Garrett's German. So
Well, right now we've got myself, who you all clearly you heard about 1998 All-State soccer player. I'm sure you heard about. We've got Rod. How you doing, Rod?
I'm good.
Good. Alan.
Hey, what?
It didn't go to you. The screen doesn't like you.
Oh no!
There we go.
Oh, now it did. Okay.
And then of course we have Dennis on the way here soon. And
Eating ribs.
Yeah, and then unfortunately no more Garrett and Jaime. He's missing. We thought about bringing some other people on during the history of this podcast. Let me go through those. Well, first there was this guy named John. No, of course we've got I would say who has become the brains of this operation. So if you I wasn't talking about
yeah,
you.
and if you want to check out my other podcast, the Detroit City Sportscast, you can check that out as well.
And the new Milwaukee, Cream City, Frankfurt podcast soon to be launched.
Mayo.
And then of course we've got Jaime. Jaime, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, Jaime is here.
I just snuck in.
I gotta change my view here because I can't see everybody.
Well,
there we
Just
go.
a reminder to Adam to edit out all that stuff we said about
I have to
Jaime.
adjust for the hair. Hold on. I don't want to miss any of the hair, Jaime. Hold
Need
on.
like the tall view.
Yeah.
There we
You can't
go.
get it. It's great, yeah, because you can't
Turn my
use
monitor
seriously
the other way.
Turn it to portrait instead of
It's a lot,
landscape.
but
See it in all its beauty.
the
Well,
flow.
so we've got a cast of 5, and Dennis is expected to join us soon after he gets off the toilet. Today, got a few items that we're going to cover. Of course, want to go over the PASL playoff recap with the City Women. We'll dive into Sharda match and talk a little bit about what's going on around the league in terms of the table and also the upcoming Oakland match. Hey, Dennis, what's happening?
Hello.
Oh, you got a new do?
Well, I just got my hair cut last week.
High and tight. Look at that. Nice.
Would you bring barbecue ribs for everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ribs.
Well, we were just
Right
And
there, Dennis, a
coleslaw?
little bit.
Unfortunately I finished the coleslaw, so
Oh, well, I don't want it then.
yeah, I figured.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into the PASL playoffs. City Women headed into the playoffs this past Saturday and had quite a task ahead of them, as we talked about last time. Well, actually, we got it wrong last time because we thought that it would be 3-3, right? And it ended up being actually potential of 4-2.
I think we thought 3-2. We didn't realize there was going to be quarterfinals. I think we thought it was going to be straight to semifinals on Sunday.
Right. So the City Women made it to the semifinals of the PASL. Had 3 matches in the group stage of the tournament, facing off first against Louisville Triumph, who we suffered our only defeat, or not our only defeat, but one of our defeats, right? I think we lost. Did we lose twice in the regular season? I tried to find it on the PASL website, but well, anyway, what we do know is that Louisville Triumph, we did lose to them in the regular season. Found some revenge, beating them 4-3, then moving to the second match of the group stage against Youngstown Nighthawks, beating them 3-2, and then dropping the third match of the group stage against the Columbus Eagles 4-5. But moving on to the knockout stage, which We faced off against Kalamazoo United in the quarterfinals of the knockout stage, beating them 6-2, and then falling 5-2 against Snohomish. Is that how we pronounce it? Snohomish.
It's not a real place.
It's not a real place. I don't even think it's a real team. We don't know. Did anybody see a stream?
I'll be high, man.
Actually, there was a stream because the Snohomish people brought their own streaming. They brought their own commentator.
Ooh,
that's a spirit. So,
a little Mackie Vision.
So it's like
vibe.
Yeah, the Janky League didn't provide anything, so you just have to bring your own person. Just imagine we could have had our own broadcast.
I've always said those.
In fact, all the teams could have had their own broadcast. There would be like 15 people standing around chatting up the games. That's the spirit. Do it yourself.
It could have been one big old Zoom meeting with multiple windows and everybody holding up their cameras, right? So you could see all the different angles of the. That might be groundbreaking.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Premier League, get on this. Yeah. This is the way to go.
This is the way to go.
The broadcast of the future. Just put every single game on one screen.
No doubt. Well, so. Guys, thoughts about the playoffs? Alan, why don't you kick it off for us since you actually got to watch one of the streams?
Yeah.
You took copious notes.
It's just amazing that you can have a national playoff tournament and there be no information about anything. We have no idea what teams were involved, except the ones that we played. We had no idea what the structure was. We had no idea when the kickoff times were. It's stunning. I mean, it's just like, hey, we're going to take a bus down to this place and we're going to play people and they'll tell us when. The first group stage game was 8 a.m, and I think there was some assumption that there were games before and games after that other teams played, but we have no idea who those teams were. So it's the most unusual thing I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a few things. And then just the number of games that the women had to play in a weekend. I know that's kind of standard for some of these tournaments, but it just seemed excessive.
And it's like half the regular season in an entire weekend.
I mean, and these games, these aren't like outdoor games where you run, you stop, you run, you stop. These games are 100% on all the time.
Yeah.
So I just with like, what was it? Our last the quarterfinal game that we didn't even know about got done in the evening, and
4 matches in one day.
The next match was the next morning. So it's just, oh my God. So, in terms of how the women did, I mean, who knows? Because I didn't see most of the games. But it's an enormous achievement. I mean, we got to really give props to the women who created this out of basically nothing, and took it all the way to a national playoff. So I think that's regardless of results, that's really impressive.
Yeah. Once again, I mean, in the midst of a shit show, we still find a way to shine. So that's a beautiful thing. Jaime, what say you, my friend?
Just to echo Alan's point about not even having the website, no matchups listed. I mean, I'm taking a fairly low level team to the Canton Cup this spring, and that will have every single game listed, 2 weeks before, and you could, I just don't see how it's that hard to with minimal effort. I think they could probably make this look 1,000 times more professional. In any case, I was following along with the Matchday Twitter, which I thought they did a nice job of posting the updates. my memory is that they were down in most of these games, and they had to come back. Like I think maybe the first 3 games on Saturday. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Showing a lot of resilience and determination. And yeah, it's a bummer that they fell short, but I mean, what a season! What a great way to kind of have the players involved in something in the middle of the winter, and hopefully they'll be able to get back out there next January, because we were big fans of the whole experience. So yeah.
Yeah, those home matches were a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
Yeah, and I hope that, like, I don't know. I mean, is it the last season of PASL? I don't know. But it would be really cool even if the club could arrange something with maybe some of our old NPSL rivals in Michigan to put together some kind of Michigan indoor soccer league. I don't know if we already have one. I'm sure that there's some existing in various forms.
Do you think we could convince George to put together a women's team? Just maybe play like the Stars like 17 times next winter.
Does he have daughters? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He does have a daughter.
There we go. Sounds like it could happen. Potential.
Stephanie Junkai.
Yeah, she runs social media for them and possibly Nisa too.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, let's hold on. We have time for that later. We'll get to that.
Well, Rod, what are your thoughts about the women's run indoors this season and the playoffs with the best available information that we have?
Yeah. Well, congratulations to them making it to a national playoff. I unfortunately was not able to see any of the games this weekend. I did pop up. Being on the West Coast, it was tough. But I got up, and I think all I saw was the 8:00 match was them walking off the pitch and some handshaking. So I didn't see anything after that. But yeah, congratulations to them. I was able to make it out to a few of the games of the home matches, and it was enjoyed it quite a bit. It was a good vibe. Amazing how many people came out to support that. Yeah, congratulations to them on what I consider a pretty successful year. And I'm hopefully that they'll be back next year, because I'd love to go out and see them again.
Adam.
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Big props to Danny Evans too, and the work that she did coaching this team. Obviously something, I don't know if it was necessarily new for her. I don't know how many. I know a lot of the a lot of the women on the team obviously played before, but kind of coming together. Danny Evans helping kind of bring this together as well. I thought she did a very good job. Obviously, considering how far they went. I'm also, I mean, I don't want to look ahead or anything like that, but I am anyway. So, I'm wondering what this could mean for Danny herself, and what this may signal as far as potentially taking over the USLW team later on down the road. Not that David's not doing a great job or anything like that, but I don't think David is in it for the long run. And I would think that maybe they want to look to get a woman as a head coach, and Danny certainly did a hell of a job, taking on this new role and everything with the team, with the indoor team. And I don't know, it seems like she'd be an obvious candidate to fill that W League team head coaching spot here in the future. So I just want to also say too that I'm a little disappointed in Alan that after making all those promises that he was going to head down to Cincinnati, he didn't do that.
Hey,
Even
I washed
after-
my
even
car.
after-
I was ready to go,
Hold on,
and then
hold
I
on.
found out.
Even after
Yeah.
451 fronted all that money
I was gonna
to
say
get him
yeah.
down there,
Per diem.
paid for his hotel room and everything like that, and he decided not to go. I think that was childish, immature, and incredibly disappointing on Alan's part there for not heading down there and helping cover.
It's true. It's true. I'm a terrible person.
I'm calling shenanigans on Alan. Alan just said he washed his car to go to Ohio. Come on.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, you're supposed to wash your car when you get back from Ohio. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, it was a fun season. I think we can all agree that this is the most fucked up league that we've ever been in.
Wow.
Just no, Dennis, it is seriously. It's more fucked up than what Nisa was.
I can't.
Nisa's over there going like, see, look, see.
I can't, in good conscience, agree with that when it's like a one and done for us. Like we didn't have to pretend to hang on for 4 or 5 years, or like have Red tell us for 2 full seasons that it's got potential. It just burned bright and it burned quickly. Like
I wasn't here for that. Did Red really say that Nisa had potential?
Yeah,
and mean it.
Well, no.
He's mentioned it once or twice.
No, so welcome to the podcast, Adam, because I forget that you're new.
I did mean it early on. I did mean it because I really believed it. Because most of the information that I was getting about Nisa was hearsay, and I wasn't being given context to it.
Does PASL? Does PASL?
Rod's got receipts.
Hold on. I think Red was right.
The hat is backwards, so
I believe payrolls were met this week. There you go, Red. Just hot news.
We're getting real time updates on the
payment.
This exists still. Breaking news.
No, so payroll went through, so we get another weekend of Nisa at least.
Well, Nisa pays their players, so they have potential. You got to give them credit.
Also,
you got to give them credit for paying people to do something professional.
If you want, all you have to do to find out about payroll is go to a certain player's IG account, and if you see that guy golfing, and you know who that is, and you know payroll is met. Simple as that. It's a clear indication on them. Yep.
Right. If you see Nisa players eating a kid's meal from Mickey D's 3 meals a day, then you know something ain't right.
One last thing for me, Kayla Addison. That's like the only clip that I've seen. That goal from Kayla Addison, where she went,
she shook her. Yep.
Like fucking, she clowned that fucking defender and put it top shelf.
Near post top.
Amazing. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was pure.
Big props to Kayla too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, who hasn't spoken yet? Dennis, have you talked? You haven't spoke your piece on this, have you?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna add anything to the conversation. I think it's cool that the women, they got this put together themselves. I think it's shitty that it burned out after a year, but maybe, I don't know, it will make City step in and maybe do what they usually do and start the league or whatever. It was fun to see the women enjoying their winter and their games together, and I think it was a pretty admirable effort in their first season together. And honestly, the biggest thing I hope that comes from it is that it helps those of them that played and that then have the time and the energy to jump onto the summer squad. It helps them gel, and we don't have those typically slow starts that we've become accustomed to. So I hope it stands to them in the upcoming season. And like to echo Adam, it would be cool to see a female coach of the team, maybe aided by Dave. If Dave's not ready to jump out of the way, I think he was just kind of a stopgap for a little while. But yeah, to see Danny in that hot seat would be kind of dope.
Dave's gonna be listening to this podcast with a tear in his eye.
We love you, Dave.
I did forget that. I did forget that he listens, which is probably why you were calling him David, right?
Right. Well, that's what I wanted to point out. To be honest with you, Dennis, like the whole part of this whole conversation that stuck out to me was that Adam continuously called Dave Dwayhe David, and I feel like unlike Adam, I'm not behind his campaign to remove Dave Dwayhe as the coach to the women's side.
How many coaches has Adam tried to get fired?
Right, and that's the real, exactly.
Man, this guy.
Right, because to me it seems a bit passive aggressive and paternalistic for you to call him David. Before you know it, you're gonna say his middle name, right? It's gonna be David Bentley Dwayhe. And you're gonna Adam, just speak your mind. Stop this passive aggressive bullshit. You know what I mean about people who are gems to this club. We don't see eye to eye on it, and it raises some concerns with the show.
I'm just gonna start calling him Davey. Davey Dwayhe.
Davey. Oh, don't call him Davey. You might get Garrett excited. Because of his Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Oh yeah. Right on that road.
Well, I mean, it was. I agree with you all on everything that you said that I can't remember. That the women did a phenomenal job, and I think more than anything, just the fact that, again, we've belabored the point on and on. Since they started the indoor season, that the fact that it came to fruition because players who love and are invested in this club and carry that crest beyond the time that they're on the pitch over the summer decided to make that happen. And I agree with y'all. Like that was fucking most dope thing in the world. And I hope that they're able to find some kind of avenue to continue that after the summer season, coming up. So now on to the men's side. We've got a few things to touch base on. First and foremost, I heard that there was a match yesterday, Tuesday, April 16th at Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC experienced another flare-up of the herpes called Michigan Stars, aka Sharda, and came out to face them in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup, which sounds pretty certain. I'm hearing things from a lot of pretty reliable sources that aren't the man in the mirror that are indicating that this might be the last year of the U.S. Open Cup the way things are going, right? And I don't know. Anyway, City came out in our opening match in the third round because we get the buys in the first couple of rounds because we're in the second division of professional soccer. Faced off against Michigan Stars FC, the bitter foe. Although I'm not sure how much of a rivalry it is. I was just looking at something somebody was posting the other day of 21 matches that were posted. That Sharda only won 3 in 21 matches. So I don't, the rivalry, I'm not sure is based off of what happens on the pitch as much as it might be what happens off the pitch. Let's jump right into it. What were your thoughts about the match? Dennis, why don't you kick us off?
Well, the run of matches posted by Jaime, you posted that, right? Yeah, let's give a shout out to the numbers man down there. I was surprised to see.
I thought it was Captain Jack.
No, I think he might have shared it.
There's been a few instances of plagiarism in the past, but
we're
not dwelling on that.
I think Captain Jack is
must be one mad cat.
the retweet front of Jaime's Spanish language account is what it's starting to look like.
Nice.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see they've only ever beaten us 3 times in 21 games. Like, I honestly thought there was more of a storied back and forth going on before I got involved in 2018. So I was very surprised to see that. And yeah, I would have to kind of put them in the bracket of little brother a little bit, you know.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Dennis, I've been to the overwhelming majority of those matches, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, because they always just feel like bad matches. I feel like bar 1 or 2 where we've had a 2 or 3 goal win. They just always feel like you got to toil through them. But yeah, I thought last night we started pretty slow. I think, as happens sometimes, we saw it against Gold Star last year, and we've seen it against the Stars before, where we sort of allow the other team to make us play down to them, which, you know, probably we've done to teams as well. Like, it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's just, I can see why Double D was frustrated with it afterwards, but I'm also happy to see him call that out as well. Obviously, we had a bit of a rotated team, some forced and some just to give some lads a break. But I was also kind of surprised to see such the spine of the team kind of together. I honestly wasn't sure that Maxi was going to start and that the whole midfield were going to start. So yeah, really just the wings and up top got a bit of rotation. I was kind of surprised not to see Becerra from the start, to be honest, and I think that might have played into his kind of frustrating play when he came on. Like, he was just trying to prove himself a little bit. But yeah, I mean, once the first half hour got through and we started kind of turning the screw, like, the stats kind of spoke for themselves. Like every other game we played this season, like, we had 2/3 of possession, 22 shots to 6, which is kind of crazy. That's not very DCFC numbers at all. But, you know, my big one that I harp on is we were back on top in the XG, 2.34 to 0.8. So, you know, a worthy win. They were lucky to keep us to 1 goal in the 93rd minute. That was kind of frustrating that it took so long, but, you know, I like that nobody gave up and they kind of trusted themselves to get the win there. And I'm also glad it did not go to extra time, because that would have been a nightmare, honestly. But yeah, standouts for me were obviously Maxi. Stevie played a hell of a game. Ali looked smooth as fuck when he came on. Like, his play when he came on was just, yeah, unreal. Villanueva, I thought, played really well in his first start. He looked pretty exciting there, and I thought Matt Sheldon played really well too. And I could see that speed that he was talking about in the podcast the other day. And then I thought on the other side, Tatenda Makarova played pretty well too. He stood on his head as usual against us, and I thought his shenanigans were pretty down last night compared to usual. So whatever George is doing to keep him in the league, whatever money is changing hands there, I mean, he should try and do it as long as he can, well, until he folds it up, because fucking Stevie G can't hang anymore. I think, yeah, that's probably outside of the ringers he tried to bring in. Tatenda's probably his greatest signing ever, and I can't wait to see him in DCFC colors in a couple of years as the backup to Saldana.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Adam,
I thought it was. I mean, I know. Danny Dichio wasn't happy about it afterwards, but I thought. I mean, obviously they played a lot better than their opener last year against Gold Star. Stars had a little bit of they came out with a little bit of energy in the beginning, but it seemed like City really started to, you know, frustrate them, take possession. And yeah, like Dennis was kind of alluding to there, McRuva was the only reason why they weren't, it was 0-0 at halftime. I mean, City could have had at least 2 by the half if it wasn't for the play of McGruva. A couple of guys that stood out. I thought Matt Sheldon looked really, really good last night in his first start of the season. Villanueva as well played really, really well. It seemed like they were just kicking the shit out of Meram too in the middle. I was standing over at one of the corner flags, and when Joe just, they're just kind of going up the middle, and Joe just like took him out. You heard the smack. It sounded rough. Meram was down on the ground for a little bit, and they were playing him hard last night, and you can see at the end too, just by the play itself, Stevie just kind of stepping in front of him and feeding Maxey for the goal, and Meram was gassed. Meram was tired there at the end, and I know that he went to Disney World or something like that before the game, and this kind of rumor has it he just wasn't training all that much with the Stars, and maybe if he did, who knows, maybe things would have been a different story. But for as good as McGruva was though last night, it was kind of his undoing as well. Kind of coming out to play that ball, doing what he always does. He's a risk taker in the net, and Maxey made him pay for it. Last night too, it was hectic. It was nerve-wracking because like I said, I thought City played well. The one thing that you were worrying about last night, though, is just that fluky bullshit that happens every so often. And obviously that's not what you wanted to see, because it seemed like a whole bunch of people were like kind of giving the Stars credit coming into this one. Oh, they made it this far. You think about who they played. I thought they played okay against Minnesota United too, but they should have lost that opening round against Steel City. They looked fucking terrible against Steel City. So I don't know. I had fun with it last night. I'm sure a lot of other people had fun with it as well. It was good to get that win. George looked pissed off, which was always fun as well. When we were down on the pitch afterward, waiting to get the interview with Danny. They had a guy there from U.S. Soccer, and they just had a Stars coach or staffer or whatever was just kind of talking his ear off. I don't know about what. I could only imagine. And then Danny was taking forever to come out and speak with everybody. And you look in the tunnel there, and he's got a Stars coach sitting there talking his ear off too. So who knows what that was about? Again, you could make assumptions based on how, kind of that end of how the end of the match went. It started to get really chippy, obviously, but it was fun. Watching George get pissed off and unhinged is always fun, though. So.
I mean.
As we. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, right. Sorry.
You're good.
So I just would like to make a personal plea to the club to henceforth schedule U.S. Open Cup matches, if there ever is another one, on Wednesdays, so I can actually go. I had a very serious conversation with Sean Mann about this last year, and I was ignored, and I'm not happy about it. So as it turns out, after training, I got home and caught about the last 20 minutes. Big shout out to Dennis for helping me find the stream. I could not find it on my YouTube. I tuned in right as it was all starting to kick off because the Stars guy got sent off, I think 1 minute after I turned it on. So that was amusing. I thought that was actually kind of a soft red.
Yeah.
I thought Levi's was soft. I didn't think either of them were red cards really, but I would just say I don't know if it's too early to get the Maxi Rodriguez Black Arrow bandwagon going, but like this guy's just seems like unstoppable right at the moment. He just is like on another level, even to what we've seen him in the past. I think.
I think that's already going. You're just jumping on.
Maybe I am. Maybe
I've already
I am.
seen 3 or 4, including your little shadow, your little retweet shadow. He's been on it for a while.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just gonna ignore all that and suggest that I've started the bandwagon.
Okay.
And all are welcome aboard, of course. But yeah, he was great, and yeah. Well.
Alan. Other than you basking in the joy of the darkness.
Oh yeah, that was impressive. It was as advertised. Smoke and darkness and smell, but I think that was mainly from Red, so that counts.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, did I say that? Oh, edit point.
We got it coming.
Yeah, the young guys looked really good. Looked hungry. Espeleta and Villanueva, and this fresh-faced youngster named Matt Sheldon. What a premiere! I mean, where's this guy been all these years? So it was good to see him get some minutes. And yeah, he looked pretty good. So I would expect to see him a little bit more, in the rotation, or maybe like second half sub. I guess I expected this, but the attendance was pretty low for the game. I saw a reported number in FOTMob, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's true or not.
Move it to Wednesdays. There'd be 2 more people there.
Well, there you go. Note to the front office. Yeah. So, the game was not part of the season ticket package. So people had to
they reported 2017.
Wow. Which for our normal numbers, even for Open Cup games, is on the low end. But relatively short notice, wasn't part of the package. So looking forward to the next round, and who that might bring. So I think that I got towards the end of that second half thinking, oh, this is just going to be one of those, you play, and then something goes wrong at the end, or it goes to extra time or something like that. I really just didn't want to see that. Turns out our game last night took care of business right at the end. It was the game I watched today that went to extra time and penalties and didn't turn out so good. So that is what I wanted to avoid last night, and fortunately we did.
Is that club that starts with the R and ends with the Ode Island?
No. Champions League.
He's talking about his overseas antics.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Your conflicted loyalties?
No.
Yeah, it's usually Garrett that brings that up, so I thought we were going to get away with it.
Less said about that, the better, I guess.
Rhode Island, Manchester City.
Rhode Island?
Yeah,
It does sound like there's going to be at least part of a game we're all going to want to watch when we jump off here, because Hartford just lost to New York City too, and apparently there was 5 red cards at the end of the game, and fans yelling into the microphones.
Wow!
I think we can go back and watch it.
And the winner was scored by a 16-year-old.
Hey.
And Hartford, I think.
It sounds like that's all that was.
We're tweeting about Rhode Island losing yesterday, I think. Speaking of Rhode Island, I think. And they were making fun of them and saying that Connecticut was green and blue or something, so.
Well,
I'd imagine that will come back to bite admin on the ass.
Yeah.
Well, Rod, thoughts? Sharda.
Yeah, I was a little surprised with that it we got into extra time at all. I thought we would have, had at least put a couple away by then, but that's just kind of the way the game went. I was really impressed with Villanueva. I've only seen him play in little spots here and there. I thought he did really well, and obviously, as you know, you other guys said, Matt Sheldon was very good. He really provides some quality service into the box. We weren't able to capitalize on those, but it was good to see that going on. And also, it was our first chance my first chance at least. I'm not sure if he'd played before, if Victor had been out there before. This was his first appearance. But I mean, yeah, we'll see. It's a small sample, so we'll see what's going on. Hopefully, he's not the curse of the number 7 that we've seen with the last couple rosters, which is the first thing I thought of. I go, well, not again. Another number 7 underperforming, but it's too soon. So we'll see what's going on with him. Yazid had some, man, he was dangerous the whole match. I mean, if not for we had the goalkeeper stand on his head, unfortunately, and he kept everything from going in. He was fantastic. So, but other than that, I would have liked to see a Connor Rhett's appearance. I saw him warming up, but that didn't happen. But hopefully he's back to fitness and we'll get to see him. Was he rostered? He was rostered, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
He was on the bench. Yeah, he dressed. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. And I agree about the yellow cards. I thought those were in both cases were a little soft, but I mean in both cases also you got to be a little smarter than that. You're already on a yellow, and especially in the case of Hunter Olsen. I mean, he just reached out and pulled him back, and then looked surprised when he got called for that one. So that was a little surprising. And then at the end of the game, what can you say about Maxey? I mean, he's just really hot right now, and everything's going his way. Uh, beautiful, beautiful ball by Steven to provide that service for him, and it looked like right before that happened, it looked like Meram was trying to take the game into his own hands, and we just took it from him. He lost the ball in a really bad place, and that was the end of it right there. So. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but wow, I just took it. Of all the people to lose the ball in a spot like that, a veteran, an MLS veteran like that, international player. But hey, it happened. We got the 3 points. Let's go.
Well,
if it was 3 points, which it's not.
Right. Well, and I would say this that Meram didn't lose the ball, like Stevie stripped that shit.
He took it.
Stevie was on his ass, right? Like Carroll was on his ass all match. Now there were definitely a few moments, a few shaky moments in the counter. Like I'm like, they're gonna sneak one out on us. Put one in the back of the fucking net. As much as I would give old Floppy, a Sharda's keeper, credit because he was standing on his head. But I think that there were also moments that we should have just put in the back of the net, but we didn't. You know what I mean? But he did great. But on the other side, like some of those counterattacks, man, it was crazy. But Stevie deserved the Fat Mob rating that he got, and he was the player of the match. I mean, I'm sure that it was difficult between him and Maxey to decide because, like you all said, Maxey was busting his ass, and there was a lot of things that Maxey was doing just in general off the ball. I thought that I agree, Sheldon. I was impressed by Sheldon and Dennis. You're right. Like he's got. I kind of laughed when I was watching Sheldon's interview with Ben. For those who haven't checked it out, on his vlog, he's got the what is it called? Against All Odds, where he's been interviewing some of the players. Good interviews, and in the interview with Ben, they said that they had the same 40, I think it was, and I was like, no way in hell, right? Because I can't say that I've actually played that close attention to Sheldon prior to him coming on the club, and clearly he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity in the first 4 matches, so I didn't really have much to weigh it on. But man, when he took a couple runs up that right flank that I remember me and Alan were standing next to one another. I thought there was one time I was like, I thought that was Ben running up the right flank, and it was actually ended up being Sheldon. So yeah, kudos to him. Alex Villanueva, man, I want to see him, wiggle his way into the starting 11. I am fascinated when that young man has the ball at his feet. He is so comfortable with that ball at his feet, and he gets himself out of tight situations. I mean, it's one of many examples of like this squad. I was looking at it, looking at the stats earlier. I'm actually prepared today. It's a fucking miracle. One of the things, and Dennis, you pointed this out actually in the last episode. We were talking about one of the big differences this year relative to the last couple of years is not like the amount of passing and our passing percentage. And so I had to like dig it up, right? Well, one, you realize like with Sharda, we had 525 passes with the 84% passing accuracy, right? And listen to this, through the first 5 matches, including the 4 league matches and the Open Cup, Colorado, the first match, 480 passes for an 83% accuracy. Against Loudoun, 506 passes for a 77%. Indy 11, 430, 77%. And I have Oakland. We didn't play Oakland. North Carolina, the last match, 403 passes for a 73%. And then with Sharda, 525 passes, 84%. Mind you, if you go back and you look at the stats from 2023, we rarely, more often than not, didn't even get over 400. Sometimes didn't even get over 300, right? That's a huge difference. And it's not even just like the amount of possession, because we've also pointed out, right, that we've been roughly around that 55 percentile possession. And obviously with Sharda, it was like 63, 64% that we possessed the ball. But it's also really intentional. Like we are often, moving the ball into the offensive third a lot more. And we produced a lot of chances at the Open Cup match, but we certainly were still having difficulty putting the ball in the back of the net. So it was kind of like, it was really exciting and it was a beautiful ending, but it was also really frustrating. And to the point that at one point in time, like Allen got really pissed off and he like yelled at the ref. And when he yelled at the ref, he even like his body just reacted and he actually farted when he yelled at the ref. Like it was crazy. I was standing there. So.
This is your classic deflection move.
Yeah,
I've seen this before.
There was almost a whole nother Sharda.
Hey, before I forget, we should get Matt Sheldon on this podcast, and I think it'd be good for him because then he can kind of see like what a serious podcast it looks like, and maybe you can
give him some tips.
Yeah, get some tips and best practices that he can kind of employ for his own smaller project.
So Matt, if you're listening, you're more than welcome to join us here in the tunnel after you go through a 3-week waiting period from the front office to get you to solidify. Well, now we're not going to get you on the show now that I just said that. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Too much shade.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
shitless now.
Red, I have some Open Cup breaking news here.
Ooh.
There may have only been 2,000 people there, whatever they said it was, but it was a loud 2,000. I don't know if this went unnoticed, but I have a message here from a player's mom on Sharda who was a little upset because her son, she won't mind me sharing this, was switched to the other side of the field because the player on the other side was offended by a chant that I think, as she said, "Daddy's boy" or something. Was there something like that going on?
Oh, wow.
Which I clearly heard all the way here in California.
Oh, yeah.
And they swapped him to the other side of the field.
I thought that was a tactical change.
Oh, okay.
We as always.
He doesn't play on that side.
Wow, that's funny. Well, and also, we noticed in the deep, dirty South, along the fence line, that George's grandsons, all donning Michigan Stars jerseys.
There were like 12 of them.
Yeah, they were along the fence line, but they seem to kind of fade away once the smoke, darkness, and the smell kind of overtaken them. They seem to kind of disappear. I don't know if they got lost, if they got swallowed by the smoke monster.
In the darkness, yeah.
We should trademark Smark.
Mark.
Put it on our own
Oof,
t-shirts.
boy, he got really schmark at our match there. Schmark.
The smarkness was really intense.
Smarkly. Smarkly. That's smoke, darkness, and smell, right?
Sounds like a shirt.
My favorite story from last night was that we'll keep him unnamed supporter handed a certain young Stephen G. young guy Capri Sun, and then asked him if he needed help opening it. And Stephen was heard to remark as he walked away, "You fucking guys."
I'm going back to my daddy's other team.
Like, that's quality. That has to go in the annals of shenanigans against stars.
What was the exact chant? Do you remember?
It was to the tune of Daddy Bought the Farm or something. It's not something I've heard before.
It was loud though.
Yeah, it was.
But it was something to do with you only got played because your daddy bought the team.
Nice.
Yeah, there were some good ones out there last night. Well, that wraps up our appearance in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup, and by the time our listeners either hear this or watch this, I mean, this is going to be past, right? Because Adam's always slacking and getting stuff done with production-wise. I shouldn't say that because he's doing it all now. Now he's like.
Well, he just has to put out his other podcast before he puts out ours.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's certain things that I do too to like make the algorithm like pick up the other one, and like kind of push this one down like the search.
I noticed the
functionality
on YouTube, man. I'm telling you, I'm on your ass. That's why I was taking those photos of the fucking tunnel, man. We're plotting your demise. Just make sure that you train me to do what you do before we kill you, okay?
Don't worry. I told my mom we're not getting as many views, so she's gonna watch this episode like 17 times next week.
I have all these nice comments.
Numbers
about
just
Jaime.
exploded.
God bless Mama Ventura.
Jaime is so good on that show, on that program.
He's the only one that doesn't swear.
Just an influx of Spanish compliments on the stream.
Well, so we're gonna be waiting. Today we're recording. Right now it's 10 o'clock on Wednesday, April 17th, and the drawing for the fourth round happens tomorrow, which is Thursday, April 18th. I'm assuming at noon. It's usually at noon, right?
Oh yeah.
And you can find that. You know, I don't know. Google it, bitch. I don't know what. Like, fucking don't ask.
On like the U.S. Open Cup website or U.S. Soccer.
I think the
Federation.
PASL website has got that information also.
Yeah.
Inexplicably, the PASL website is also showing streams of the U.S. Open Cup, like the MLS one.
Right. You could find the current,
2 years ago.
You could find tomorrow's draw for the U.S. Open Cup on the PSL website, along with results from 2021 playoffs, randomly, right? Well, we'll find out who we are drawing. Of course, there's going to be a host of USL Championship clubs that are entering into the drawing that did better than we did last season, and
It's 1 o'clock, the draw.
The 1 o'clock draw. Thank you.
Eastern time, Dennis.
12 o'clock Central.
Oh, okay.
What?
12 o'clock Central. That's why I nodded.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. And then, of course, there's going to be the MLS, scrubby ass MLS teams are going to fucking enter they're finally going to decide that they want not even half of them, like a third.
28. Yeah, a third, I think.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. If there's going to be a year that we actually are positioned to get in the CONCACAF, what is it called? The
Champions League.
Yeah, that thing, right? This would probably be the year that we could get a nod for that if it works out. So we'll see. But before we jump into the City versus Oakland, one real quick piece. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we're already going longer than we normally go.
It's a rad hosting gig.
Hey, that it is. Right now, can you all see the Eastern Conference standings right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So Detroit City heading into the match against Oakland Roots this weekend is still in third with 12 points after a 4-0 start. Louisville is in the second slot after earning 12 points in 5 matches. And Charleston Battery is at the top of the table with 15 points, but having played 3 more matches than us.
What's going on with the scheduling?
Yeah, there's something weird going. Because I looked at that and I was like, okay, Charleston must have a bye week. They don't have a bye week.
Must be Toros. RGV.
Oh yeah, that messed up everything.
Yeah, something went on. So and then there's a bunch of scrubby ass clubs underneath us. So that's all you really need to know. You just need to know about the clubs that are above us, which are only 2. And I guess in the Western Conference front, you've got a tie at the top between Sacramento and Orange County. Both played 6 matches, earning 12 points that we've earned in 4 matches. So, another scrubby ass conference. So we'll see what happens with that. We're gonna head into this weekend in the 3rd slot and playing Oakland Roots, who currently are sitting in the 8th and final playoff position in the Western Conference. But obviously there's plenty of matches to go before that becomes a real issue. So heading into the match here this Saturday, which kicks off at 4 p.m. at Keyworth. And make sure that you get there because there's those really cool replicas. The gates open at 2:30. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Get there at 3 o'clock to get your replica because the gates open at 3 p.m. All right. So don't miss out on that. Pretty cool replicas of Keyworth Stadium that they're going to start handing out for those who are able to make it exactly at 3:15 p.m. All right.
Are you getting one for Dennis, Red?
Am I getting one for Dennis?
Yeah.
Who's Dennis?
He's the guy in that little box below you.
I don't like the Irish. So
yeah, you know this.
It
take an hour and 5 minutes to come out tonight, but like usual, it rears its ugly head.
The anti-Irish sentiment.
Hey, Red, I will be in Oakland Saturday night at around 4 p.m. I'll be pre-gaming at Jack London Square. So if anybody wants to walk over to Laney College with me to watch the match, that'd be great. I'd love to have the company.
I think it's kind of interesting, Rod, that on the day that we're playing Oakland, that you just happen to be in Oakland.
Well, yeah, that's where the game is. The match is in Oakland. Duh.
That's why. That's the only reason you're out there, right?
Yeah, I flew out for it. Come on, man. Shoot. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, Red.
Dedication. The traveling support.
Well, Oakland will be an interesting match right now. Oakland's starting off the season with 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. They actually didn't start off that bad in the first couple of matches. They came out and they so far they've beaten Indy in their home opener 2-1, which Indy, even though they're not really high up on the table right now, they're not a bad squad. And they drew Charleston 1-1. But then they lost to the likes of Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Monterey Bay. And they pulled off a victory against, El Paso, who isn't looking very strong this year. And actually, I thought Colorado wasn't that bad, but I didn't realize Colorado's at the bottom of the West right now. They haven't won a fucking match. But we'll see. It's interesting because this week with us playing Sharda on Tuesday and Oakland on Saturday, it turns out to be kind of like a NISA week for us, as we've been talking about a little bit. But I guess just to close us out so that we can get out of here, what are y'all thinking about going into the match this Saturday against Oakland? Rod, why don't you kick us off?
I just want to say, as far as I'm concerned, we're in first place. We haven't lost. We've taken all the points. I don't know what kind of NISA math they're using on that table, but we're in first place, and we'll be in first place after the match. Mark my words.
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed at these screwy ass rankings that just refuse to put us in our rightful position as the only perfect team left. But I feel like Rod, I'm gonna hang some onions here and say, after this weekend they're gonna have nothing to do but put us number one in both of those screwy ass rankings. And yeah, I think this is not a must win, but a should win. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing if we get some information where Alvis and Reese are at. I know Reese obviously not going to be back this week, but if Alvis is out there warming up, or if we get something in the player notes about where he's at, because I think as we saw from our strikers last night that we could use someone who can put the ball around the keeper. Adam sounds like he has news there. So
last night, which we'll be posting that interview or the scrum, the media scrum from last night. Dikio said that Reese and Elvis are going to be out long term.
Damn.
I mean, long term is it's still kind of a ambiguous term, but I don't know how long term. I don't know how much long term is, or how long term is. Obviously, it's long, but how long? But yeah, they won't.
This is why we got to stop letting other podcasts come on our podcast, because all they bring is doom and gloom.
Oh, he just fell over. Oh wait, he's back. I thought Dennis just fell over with the news.
I just jumped behind George for a second.
That is
that's
furious, George.
That's Dennis's feeling now.
Well, I forget who's next.
What a bang up job.
The right onion
it's
is
getting late. He's getting sleepy.
Yeah,
he's a little gassy right now. He's sleepy.
I'm drunk on Taylor port wine tonight.
Oh, jeez, man.
What?
I
thought you had a bit of a rosy complexion there, all right?
Yeah. Adam. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, already. I tend to not pay attention when you're talking. So
no, I did. No, I did. No, I didn't, because I just butted in there and made Dennis sad.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I did see Reese there last night, though. Reese had he was all incognito. It looked like he had his hood up and everything, and
he had his stunner shades on too.
You're bandaged up like the Invisible Man or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna be. I mean, I'm a little nervous about the game considering the injuries that we have. I'm wondering what that rotation is going to look like. I'm wondering if we're going to have to change shape. I'm assuming we're going to have to. I didn't get a whole lot of. I was kind of wandering around a little bit more so in the second half. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Bizarre. I doesn't seem like he'll be starting. Maybe, I don't know. Dennis, you said he was kind of I don't know, pressing, trying to make an early impression. It seemed like I wasn't able to watch a whole lot of that.
He did
seem when he came on.
Honestly a bit more fluid than Zed in Zed's hour long cameo.
Okay.
He did seem to get the ball at his feet a bit more comfortably. He, I think, a couple times took maybe one too many touches. There was a point where he could have played Ali in for a pretty certain shot on goal. I won't say a certain goal, because your man was standing on his fucking head, but it would have been a pretty wide open look at goal. And I think that's what made me say he was trying a bit to do a bit too much.
Yeah, so maybe we see. I'm sure we're going to see him at some point, whether he starts or we see him come on in the second half, because obviously, Dikio he's not scared to make those substitutions, or he doesn't hesitate to make those substitutions. But again, I'm a little nervous based on our what we're dealing with when it comes to injuries. And I still think we could pull it out. Oakland hasn't looked great this year. They fell behind the taco stand last night, but were able to come away with a win. And prior to that, they've looked a little shaky at times. So, yeah, I think that I just want to see what that rotation and what that form is going to look like Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We need to end this.
When you hear good stuff, I think that's it.
I think we'll be able to take care of business against them. I think
when Alan's confident, then I'm confident. So
yeah, but I'm often wrong. So
oh damn it!
Yeah,
I'm not feeling very good about it now.
I just want to add one more thing. Oakland is a city, man. It's falling apart. They lost the Raiders. They lost the Warriors. They're losing the A's, who are about to go play at some small, like less than 10. I mean, some small stadium. All that's left is the Roots. So let's send them on their way too. That's the only team that'll be left in that city.
They're gonna move to Humboldt County.
Oh, and they lost In-N-Out Burger, and that's the first time it's ever happened.
Now that's serious.
They closed an In-N-Out Burger because people found out that it's a really easy place to rob. When everybody's stuck in line, they just walk up and take your money. So they closed it down. The first one, I think, ever closed down.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's send the Roots on their way.
Well,
sounds like a plan.
It sounds like a plan. People get robbed. Sometimes we rob for good reasons. Sometimes we rob for wrong reasons. But at the end of the day, we have city. All right. And at the end of the day, if you're sitting there just trying to pump your gas and somebody robs you, city won, city overall.
City till I get robbed, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
City till I die, say hi to the bad guy. Pretty gritty in the key, you see our flag fly, chin check. Cash tech, we came to sweep the leg. With all disrespect, LaRouche will bruise your head. 2012, the scene pop, we came to clean clocks. Your team is dream drop, we gave some mean knocks. Stomping on the comp, yeah, we chomping on the bit. Many came and went, but they ain't stopping none of it. Community built, community owned. Roasting foes coast to coast, leave your hope postponed. Spirit of Detroit, lemons the lemonade.